On the spot, news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what one. A blessed and wonderful Wednesday morning to each and every person out there tuning in to On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. So we are going to kick it off with an updated story. Well, it is indeed the main story for this morning's vlog. That mass knockings and clappings that resulted in multiple fatalities along Waltham Park Road, vicinity 75 lane. Yeah man. Now, we talked about it yesterday, but this morning we are going to go way deeper into it to see if we can figure out what really took place. So far, the police have identified two of the persons who is no longer among the land of the living. They have since been identified as David Mardner and a next man identified as Robert Henry. Now, before we get into the meat of the matter, Prime Minister Andrew Holness toured the community along with Deputy Prime Minister, that's the Security Chief, Dr. Horace Chang, and also the Police Commissioner and other members of the Constabulary Force. So we're going to hear from Prime Minister Andrew Holness, then briefly from the Minister of National Security, then we're going to hear from the Commissioner of Police, that is Dr. Kevin Blake. I need for you to listen carefully to what Dr. Kevin Blake has to say, because he will be giving some vital information about some wanted criminal elements that needs to be located as soon as possible. So listen keenly to what he has to say. Also, then of course we're going to get into the meat of the matter as it relates to what really took place on that horrific night. Yeah, man.
If you have information, let us know. Please tell us. When the Cherry Tree Lane incident occurred, we had put up a $25 million reward fund. We have increased that reward fund to $30 million. That fund has been repurposed to deal with any of these incidents that occur, any of these multiple victim violent incidents that occur. Any residents, any citizen, anyone who has any information that is valuable to us in leading to the arrest or giving us information that would lead to the degrading of the gangs. That information would be obviously treated with the care to protect your identity and your security, but you can also benefit from a reward from this fund. We have to deal with this, and we will deal with this. I've given a policy directive that these multiple victim violent incidents must be dealt with specially. We're going to make the necessary change in laws to deal with them. We consider them acts of terror, and we are examining the law to see what other penalties, what other deterrents can be placed in the law to prevent criminals and criminal-minded people in gangs to commit these kinds of acts. But in the interim, in the meantime, from an operational perspective, the police can mobilize resources to deal with the problem. The persons who committed this act, mark my words, you will be found. And as I've said before, I'll say it again, you will either meet a judge or you will meet your maker.
Minister of National Security, that's Dr. Horace Chang, says the police will have the full backing of the ministry to apprehend these criminal elements. He says efforts will be made at legislative levels to address these type of mass fatal knockings and clappings. Now listen.
The ministry will do everything required to support the police in the efforts to apprehend these brutal criminals. The increased incidence of multiple victim events is of concern, and we'll be looking at the entire criminal justice system to see how we can strengthen it, deal with these kind of characters. Not only giving the police support, but to ensure that the criminal justice system has the legislative framework to deal with this kind of criminal terrorist that is emerging. Individuals here, as the Commission indicated, are humble, hard-working Jamaicans who are going to give a domino. Any of us could have been sitting here outside with them. It's an area that has had a period of relative quiet, and it reflects the brutal action of these individuals to attack and come to the victims.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take the opportunity on behalf of the wider JCF to offer our condolences to the 5 victims of this senseless murder that took place last night, 2 incidents that we believe are related. This is another one of unprecedented number of multiple victims, violence incident that we have seen across the country in recent times. By way of update, I would like to just assure the public that we have been quite relentless. These types of incidents require a different and more strident response, and it has been receiving that type of response so far. Just to give a little update on where we are with those that have passed, and to assure the public at large that we will be seriously pursuing these individuals who are responsible for these murders. Also, with respect to the Churchy Lane incident, for all the multiple victims incidents that we've seen so far, we've had very good results in terms of investigation. A number of persons have been arrested, a number of operations have been run, and we have managed to successfully authorize the continuation of violence in these cases. And so the Churchy Lane, we have 3 individuals that were linked to the gang, the associated gang, and this is a rival between the Azan faction and also the One Family gang. There were 3 persons linked to that gang who were arrested. 2 of the perpetrators were charged and are waiting trial, and the trial date is January of next year. We have 2 suspects who chose not to be taken in and were fatally shot during a confrontation with forces. And we have 2 individuals who have been charged, not necessarily for the incident, but as being part of the gang. Our operational response has been swift and serious. We have had 2 limited states of public emergency. We have intercepted a reprisal in progress during that incident where a firearm was seized and that person was arrested and charged. Several curfews were put in place, and I must say the division of St. Catherine North had lost some ground during that incident where we had 8 of our Jamaican citizens die and 9 were shot and injured. We had lost some grounds, but because of the support that we have gotten from the ministry in terms of the curfews and the government, the state of emergency, and the support by the JDF and our continuous presence in the space, we have, the division has made good strides and is now experiencing a significant, even better reduction in murder done before the incident occurred. With respect to the Pointil incident where 7 persons were shot and 1 person killed, we have several individuals that have been cooperating with us. The investigation is going quite well. 2 persons were arrested and charged, Junior Coleman, OC CJ, and Javon Dyer. both persons were charged for that incident are in custody. We also have some key persons of interest that have been identified, and we are now looking for them. One such person is Kevin Miller, OC Pantyman. We have one Shane Thompson, Shaniman, and also Brian King, otherwise called Ryko. Right? And so these persons, anybody knowing the whereabouts of these persons, please make contact with the police as we seek to continue that investigation. And as I said before, we have been getting excellent support from the JDF with respect to these incidents, and thankfully we have not seen any continuation of violence in these. And there are several others, the recent one in Pleasant Hill, one person was arrested and charged. That's where 5 persons were killed on the football field. In Kingston East, 1 person was arrested and charged, and there are 2 persons that we are looking for. One, Junior Prairie, OC Whopper, where once we hold him, he can be properly charged, and also a person known to us only as Lord Evil. So both persons are wanted, and anyone knows the whereabouts of these individuals, we encourage you to provide support to the JCF. And this is just an update on a few of those incidents, and just to give the public the assurance that we will not relent when it comes to responding to these senseless hoodlums that seek to deprive our citizens of their lives and their freedom and their way of life. And we will be very, very strident in our response to this particular incident. I'm told that the victims are non-combatants. These are innocent citizens playing a game of domino, whichever one should be able to do. And we, the JCF, commits that our way of life will continue and will not be disrupted by these individuals. Thank you very much.
So now, my peeps, make we get into the meat of the matter. So, as it relates to the fatal knockings and clappings, it is now stated that the number stands at 6 and no longer 5, as unconfirmed reports suggest that the man, the lone survivor of that horrific night, sadly succumbed to his injuries sometime yesterday. So the figure now stands at 6. But the 6 was not in one place. It was 2 separate incidents. What I mean by that? The 5 that lost their lives in the video that has been making rounds all over social media is an immediate reprisal for the first person that lost his life. Now, the first man will lose Theme 3 Pines has since been identified as this man presently on your screen, 25-year-old David Mardner. Now, what happened is that this brother is said to be a very influential factor in the community. Same is also an upcoming dancehall artist and a former student of the sports college over there in Spanish Town, where I talk about GC Foster College. It is said that he dropped out of GC after just attending for a year, doing a course in physical education to pursue his career of becoming a dancehall artist. So he has since been identified, as I stated earlier, as David Mardner. Now, David owns a shop at 75 Lane. So it is said that on that horrific night when he lost his life, that's Monday evening, sometime around the 7 o'clock bell, somewhere thereabout, he owns a shop, as I stated, and a man came to the shop window and shouted, "Serve." So you know, said the shopkeeper, I go attend to the customer. So when he went to attend to the person that shouted out, "Serve," but to his surprise, when he went out there, he was the one being served, but with some whole heap of corn grain all over the upper body and head. May I tell you, my peeps, the pictures of that incident, really graphic, close casket type of treatment. Him deal with the situation, grimy. Now, in an immediate reprisal for his fatal knockings and clappings at 75 Lane, a man identified as Robert Henry, no picture as yet for those deceased men, sadly, other than the brutal and horrific videos that is being making rounds on social media. So an immediate reprisal was launched by cronies affiliated to the now deceased 25-year-old David Mardner. And that is when tragedy struck. But before we reach down to the part there, points to note, the now deceased David Mardner's father or stepfather, I'm not sure if he's the birth father or the stepfather, but he's married to the mother of the now deceased David Mardner. When you remember the fatal knockings and clappings of a security guard on the school grounds of the Pembroke Hall High School some time ago, well, that man is said to be the father or stepfather of David Mardner. And he also lost a brother to the hands of criminal elements sometime in December of last year. So there is way more to this story that meets the eye. You now follow me? So as I stated earlier, after Theme Food get nyam, an immediate reprisal was launched. And that was when the 5 men were attacked. They were sitting at a bar and drinking and playing a game of dominoes along Aisha Avenue. That particular street is located just around 300 meters from 75 Lane. So you know, you're not far, that literally a stone throw away. Criminal elements roll up in all their glory and shower the hail of bullets on these men playing their game of dominoes. They all got conned up. One survived the brutal onslaught, and it is said that he succumbed to his injuries whilst undergoing treatment in the hospital. Now, the mother of the first man we lose Fame 3 Pines, David Mardner, is saying that her son is a good youth. A youth when a mix up in a nothing, him just a do Fame like music. But she also stated that she not pick up Fame because her son. Why would a mother say that me not pick up Fame? Usually when that terminology is used, it simply means that they know something else. Something wonky a go on with the person, why them say them nah pick up for the person because of them son. Something not straight with him. And why would there be an immediate reprisal for his fatal knockings and clappings if him never mix up and have criminal elements aligned and associated with him? It is also stated that the 5 men that was brutally slaughtered in a swift and quick reprisal for his fatal knockings and clappings were all innocent people. I doubt that. I think that probably innocent persons were there, but there had to be an intended target for the criminal elements to target that specific group of men. So as I stated earlier, my peeps, there is way more to this story that actually meets the eye. But until you, the residents, the regular members of Chan Public, who have to attend them funeral, who have to go in on a pocket deep to bury them dead people, yeah? Until you are honest, 100% honest with what is happening in your community, the problems will never be resolved. And uno got always a ball and always a ban uno belly. Because withholding vital information to crack the case and get the criminal elements who perpetrated these crimes against your family members off the streets or off the earth. Until you speak the truth, you are literally, indirectly taking the side of the criminal element. Because once you not taught the story straight to them, it definitely gives an open door, lays a leeway for him to walk away from this scotch-free. So the onus is now on you, residents living in that era, whether you're related to the criminal elements, them or not. If you want to remain among the land of the living, somebody has to take a stand. Why not allow it to be you? Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.